Mystery of stuff. Top 4 abandoned places in American Nevada. 1. Pedro's south of the border. South of the border is as kitschy as it gets. It's the tourist trap that time forgot. It's like stepping back into the 1980s. Some love it, some hate it, but everyone agrees that the $2 ice cream is a great deal and their collection of fireworks is impressive. Pedro's enjoyed its golden days in the 60s and 70s, and part of its charm is its Americana nostalgia. This is an all-inclusive tourist trap, complete with a motor inn, mini golf, fireworks, a Mexican restaurant, ice cream shop, campground, reptile lagoon, amusement park, and souvenir shop. If you've ever wanted a picture of yourself riding a statue of a dinosaur wearing a sombrero, or just bask in the fading glory of Americana kitsch, you should stop by this place on the way to the beach. 2. Berlin. As was the fate with many other small towns at the turn of the 20th century, Berlin became a victim to hard times and a lack of income. Many of the residents would go to the mines and work, but the mines eventually ran out of their valuable commodities, and the rest is history for little towns like Berlin. While it's hard to imagine anyone living in a place like this when seeing it in its current state, it was once teeming with life. Today, however, nothing remains aside from the skeletons of a few of the houses and automobiles that were left behind. While well preserved in the arid conditions, they've still weathered quite a bit, and rust coats the cars, some of which date back to the 20s. In some senses it's saddening to see towns in disrepair like this, but the good news is that it won't be going anywhere soon, so many generations to come will be able to marvel at this piece of dried-out history. 3. Warm Springs Resort. Believe it or not, the Desert West was a hot spot for tourists to come to when looking for a resort back in the day, and Nevada's plethora of hot springs made it perfect for vacationers. Unfortunately for these little spots, Las Vegas rose exponentially in popularity. So much, in fact, that other resorts in the state had a hard time attracting the attention of visitors. This led to an untimely end to quite a few, and Warm Springs was one of them. Now at the point of no return, Warm Springs is slowly wasting away to oblivion. The hot springs where people used to wade now sit dormant, and it's hard to believe that it wasn't long ago that it was a playground for vacationers. You can easily access the area around the pool, but other buildings in the area are boarded up and not worth the risk of entering. Oh, and don't go for a dip. You never know what could be in there. 4. St. Thomas. St. Thomas isn't much to see today. The only things left these days are the foundations of the various buildings that are scattered throughout the area. To be fair, you can't always see St. Thomas, though, and that's what makes this one of the more bizarre finds for exploration in Nevada. There's a reason why it's not in very good shape anymore, and it probably has something to do with the fact that the area was flooded to make way for the Hoover Dam. These days, the remnants of St. Thomas can only be seen during certain times of the year, and remains underwater for the remainder. The staircase from the old church and a few other concrete pieces are still standing strong, but there's quite a bit of rubble around to prove that being under a lake doesn't exactly keep a town in one piece. This one simply has to be seen because it's one of the few flooded towns in the world that have any remains to be seen at all. Mystery of stuff.